Ladies and gentlemen, this is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Welcome to What Do You Want to Talk About, a Fanatics and WWE original production. We have a very special guest today.
Very special.
1/3 of Fatal Influence and brand new to the SmackDown scene. Not brand new to the wrestling space, which we're going to get into, but this is exciting. And I don't know if you can see from where I can see, but there are some cowboy boots, cowgirl boots here. There are belt buckles. This is a bit of a, it's all happening right here. Please welcome to What Do You Want to Talk About, Fallon Henley. Oh! Wow. 1/3 of Fatal Influence.
Yes, sir.
Fresh on SmackDown.
Yep.
How are you feeling?
I feel like I'm in a dream. It doesn't necessarily feel real yet. Just the fact that I've been with WWE this long still feels like a dream. But the fact that I'm up on SmackDown, Paige, Brie Bella, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, all of these names, it's surreal. I'm on such a high.
I'll ask you a question that someone watching is automatically going to go, I don't know if you should ask that question. But were you happy to be called up to SmackDown versus Raw?
I think I was going to be happy no matter where I went.
Yeah.
Because on either brand, you have immense amount of talent. So I think in the future, you can always go to Raw. You can always change. You can always go to the next place. So it's like, I was happy wherever I was going to go.
I've been on SmackDown since WrestleMania 40. It's uniquely positioned in the company, but it's still SmackDown. It has so much quality content that's within it, and fresh blood coming in is part of the WrestleMania cycle. It's also part of the wrestling industry in general. We just had Jimmy Hart talking about one class graduates, another class comes up, and and it's great being how young you guys are coming up, because now the benefit is the same benefit I had, where you get to grow up in front of them. You get to hate them, love them, be mad at them, have them be mad at you, slip, fall, do all the great everything. It's just a great time for SmackDown. So I'm very glad that you guys are on SmackDown. I feel that I might have made a mistake. I said, hey, you got to come on the podcast. But JC and Lainey are not here. Am I in trouble with them?
The thing is we're a unit. So if one of us does something, it's helping all three of us.
Okay.
So, then again, you should probably have them on the future.
Yeah. But I need to make it up. They need, for sure.
I definitely would make it up. But at the end of the day, if one of us does something good, it helps all of us.
I take that. Are you enjoying your time together? I know as far as wrestling goes, partners are very real often.
Yes.
And then every now and then when you have no chemistry and nothing amongst you, then it's not. And you look for the things that link you and the connective tissue. But you guys seem very much, just watching from a confidence level in the ring, you guys seem very much a unit.
Yes.
And also, it seems like you had good teachers at NXT, and not just the obvious, but good advice too, because you came up in a very ferocious way.
Yeah.
You're taking something.
You have to.
Yes.
If you're going to make that big of a move, you have to make a statement.
Sure.
And that's exactly what we did. JC and I started training together, 10 years ago at this point, at the same place. So we've known each other our entire careers.
Yeah.
So that helps in us being a unit and working together and being cohesive. And we brought Lainey in, and she's just a sponge. She's always learning. She's always listening. She takes what we say and she uses it. And all together, we're all our different selves, our individual selves, but we all just work so well together. And clearly you can see.
Yeah. Also, you're the strength in numbers aspect of what we can do. There's been great examples of comes in threes and sports entertainment and pro wrestling, the Shield being, a very modern example. You guys have one another to lean on.
Yeah.
In terms of NXT and coming up, what do you think the best thing? Because you're up, it's you're out. Not to say it like that, but you're out. You've now moved on to what they were preparing you to move on for. What do you feel was the best thing that you got personally, just you, whether it was from Shawn or from Terry or from Bloom, or what was the best thing you got before coming up? Is there anything that rings in your head when you're up doing this?
That's a hard question because I don't necessarily feel like there's just one thing.
Sure.
In the Performance Center, we have so many coaches and so many brilliant brains.
Yeah.
So every time we go out, no matter what we're doing, I'm always hearing somebody in the back of my mind.
Sure.
So it's hard to pinpoint just one thing because I learned so much and I had the luxury of being there for a good amount of time. So every day I went in, I was learning something new and being able to apply it. So
fair enough.
I can't pick just one thing.
Do you have a coach you didn't like?
No.
Yeah, all likes.
No. Everybody has their own style. So some people are going to be a little bit tougher.
Yeah.
Some people are a little bit sterner.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, everybody's there just to help us get better.
Sure.
And nobody there didn't do that.
Here's my an observation I made from watching other folks come up from NXT, and I just tried to explain this to Ricky the other day. One of the things that is, it can only be taught by the natural experience of bouncing around, trying to climb the ladder, trying to get here in the first place, all these things.
Yes.
But one of the things that I always am excited about someone new coming up, because Shawn's going to teach them pretty much everything they need to know about wrestling, psychology. You're going to get so much Terry about finishes. I mean, there's just a unique spectrum and cornucopia of advice there. But one of my things that I know is not taught necessarily, and when they come up, I can be the one to be like, hey, is time management when it comes to how SmackDown and Raw work. Because it is terrifying. You get there and it's Tommy or Kasama. We're doing your walk in 30 minutes. And as soon as your walk's in, can you be at the ring? You're late for your rehearsal, which you booked the walk. How am I late for the rehearsal? And that, they have a job to do, so you can't get mad at them. But then also you're trying to focus on the content. I'm going to deliver this unbelievable promo. I'm going to do something physically impressive. And I feel that's where I've seen you're excelling at this so far. And what you've done is it's hard to get it all to where you don't want to feel like you overcame. You want to feel like you were fully prepared. You feel like you're fully prepared?
I feel like I'm as prepared as I can be.
Yeah.
I've had so much experience. I've had so many teachers. And I feel like they always say you're never going to be 100% ready.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm as ready as I can be now.
Yeah.
Given everything that I've gone through and everything that I've learned.
Well, when you're 100% ready, things like what happened to me at WrestleMania happen where you just pull your tights up just an extra and the knee completely rips. And you like that's what I feel like whenever you're 100% ready, that's curveball city. And that lately has been my whole career. But that's a very good way to look at it. You talk about JC and training. This is 10 years ago, getting into the industry.
Yep.
Walk me through it, your journey. How do you get here?
It was a long journey.
Yeah.
It was a long one to say the least. But I think it was like 2016, I want to say.
Yeah.
Started training at a school. JC was there as well. I ended up moving somewhere. So I was in college at the time. I worked at a gym, and one of the personal trainers there was actually a wrestler.
Okay.
Who she only had like a small class of people.
Yeah.
But she was doing training and she had just brought a couple new students in, and I got linked up with her, and she was like 20 minutes from my house. So it was perfect versus like an hour and a half drive that I was making before.
Where is this? Where was this at?
This was over in like Tampa area.
Okay. Gotcha.
Brandon.
Yep.
Lexi Fife, Bonnie Maxon.
Yeah.
Bonnie Maxon was like she's my wrestling mom through and through. Lexi Fife, Mercedes Martinez, they all helped me start in this journey.
Yeah.
So I did the indies for a while. I never hit them as hard as I wish I did, because by the time I started to, and I figured out the flow, and because it's intimidating, there's a lot that goes into it, a lot of conversations, constant different people. So as soon as I hit the ground running, I ended up having to get shoulder surgery. Nothing crazy, just some bone spur removal, but that put me out for about like a year. And then COVID hit, that put me out for about a year. Had some other work that helped me get back into wrestling and everything again. And I think before that, I had a tryout in, 2019, I want to say. I think it was I had 3 tryouts total.
Okay.
So I had one, I think it was 2019, 2020, and then 2021. I think it was back to back to back, if I remember correctly. My first one was actually with Jade and Ivy Nile. So that was really cool. I watched them grow. Ivy Nile is one of my close friends now. And then I think the second tryout I had, it was in the midst of COVID. Yeah. So it was very, very small. I think there was 10 of us, 12 of us. It was just girls. I think that was the one that Tiffany got signed off of, actually. Right. And then, what was it? The very first taping of NXT where they finally brought extras back in. Because over my whole career, I was always doing extra work, whether it was up in Raw. You saw me.
Yeah.
Raw, I did tons of NXT extra work. And in the very first taping they had that they brought extras back, I had an enhancement match with Elektra Lopez.
Okay.
And everything went great. Everybody was happy. So at the PC, sometimes they'll do PC Live weeks where it's just practice matches, practice shows every single day. So that was one of those weeks that I came in for. And a lot of times when those tryouts happen, extended tryouts is what they call them, normally it's a group of people. So it's 4 people or so. I was by myself. Luckily, I knew people, so it wasn't as scary. But at the end of the day, I'm not signed. I'm by myself. I'm trying to get here.
Yeah.
So we do the first day. I have a match. Goes great. Second day is a TV taping. Hey, I think we're going to have you come back in December for a tryout. Yeah. In my head, I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I must be doing something wrong. This will be the 4th tryout. There's no way. And I'm like, you know what? Whatever. I'm here. I'm just going to bust my ass the rest of the week, prove myself, and I'll come back and I'll do the 4th tryout. Yeah. No problem. Well, finish the week. Don't really hear anything. And about 2 weeks later, I get the call. Do you want to be an NXT superstar?
Oh, wow.
And it was 6 o'clock on a Friday.
Yeah.
I'm just hanging out. And I'm like, random numbers calling me. Oh my gosh. I'm like, it's Connecticut. I'm like, I don't know anybody in Connecticut.
The old 203, huh?
Yep.
The 203
and
gotcha.
I'm like, do I answer it? Because we never answer phone numbers that we don't know, especially with spam nowadays.
That's very smart. Then,
you never know what you're going to pick up to.
Yep.
So I'm like, all right, I'm going to answer it. So I answer it, and it was the call.
Oh.
So it was a long journey to get there, but it always makes it more worth it in the end.
Of course. Here we are. We're on the journey to you being ultimately where you are now. 2021, your life dramatically changes in terms of perspective, and walk me through that.
Yeah. So it's kind of crazy. Kind of happened out of nowhere. I have twin sisters who are no longer with us. The first one passed during that year, and that was right before I got the call to do the extra work that started back up that got me my 3rd tryout before my enhancement match with Elektra. It was a really hard time. Like I said, it kind of came out of nowhere. Essentially, all of her organs shut down. She got rushed to the hospital, and before we knew it, she was gone. And she left behind her 2 daughters that were still living with her and her son. They had lost their dad, I want to say, a year or 2 before then. So they've had a very, very hard, beginning of life. Yeah. But I was over in Tampa, and that's where they had been living at the time. And the only options they really had were to go to Michigan to be with my mom, go to California to be with one of my other sisters, or come and stay with me. I had a 2-bedroom apartment at the time. So I brought them in. They shared one of the rooms. I took the smaller one. I think they were 16 and 17. Yeah. So one had to still finish high school, and the other one was just starting college. So kind of a big change for what was I at the time, 22 or something, taking in these 2 teenage girls who, for my sake, were extremely well behaved and mature, given the life that they had gone through and all of the hardships that they had gone through. So when I got that call to do the extra work, I mentally was not in a place where I thought I could do it.
Yeah.
And I almost said no.
Oh.
And had I said no, I wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't be on SmackDown. I wouldn't be doing any of the things that I'm doing. And I think that was like a little piece of my sister kind of kicking me and telling me to go do it, because she knew how much I wanted this. And she was probably, Heather and Heidi were the twins, and they were probably my biggest supporters ever. So a lot of what I'm working for now is for them.
And the girls are doing well?
They're doing amazing.
Yeah?
Yeah. The younger one, Tabby, she just started a full-time job, actually taking one of my sister's full-time jobs that she had. So she kind of stepped into her shoes for that role. And then the older one, Julia, she is now in nursing school.
What do they think of where you're at?
They're head over heels for me.
Yeah?
Because they watched, they were with me for a lot of my journey up until that point.
Yeah.
So they had seen how hard I had been working, doing, other extra work and the indies and other things like that. So when I was able to finally get there, it was just, we were all just happy.
That, thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
That's, and I didn't know. And certainly, like you said, maybe it's your sister, but I'm glad that you went through with it. And,
Me too.
Wow.
Me too. So it's just happy everything worked out in the way it did, because like I said, I feel like a lot of what I do now is for them, because they were always my biggest cheerleaders before I even decided what I wanted to do with my life. No matter what every time I saw them, they were just pumping me up, telling me to follow my dreams and do whatever I wanted, even if maybe my parents thought that I was silly for chasing something that seemed out of reach. They were always the ones to tell me to keep sticking with it.
Well, you hear a lot about the why. Why are we out there that night? Why are we out there doing this promo? Why is these two guys or two girls fighting? But the why behind the why is the most important thing.
Yeah.
And thank you again.
Yeah, of course.
Summer for me is busy. The WWE has big events coming up, which means more travel and late nights. Keeping AG1 in my routine helps me stay consistent when everything else can get unpredictable. AG1 is a daily health drink with a multivitamin, pre- and probiotics, superfoods, and antioxidants. 1 scoop, 8 ounces of water. The next-gen formula delivers over 75 ingredients backed by 4 clinical trials, clinically shown to support gut health, fill common nutrient gaps, and improve key nutrient levels within 3 months. Late nights, long weekends, spontaneous plans, life happens. AG1 helps you keep one thing consistent. AG1 fits into my daily routine because it's high-quality nutritional support every single day, no matter where you start your morning. Visit drinkag1.com/Cody to get a free morning person hat and free AG1 flavor sampler in your welcome kit with your first AG1 subscription. That's an $82 value. That's drinkag1.com/Cody.
You mentioned all this extra work, right?
Yes.
I actually am very curious about this. Elsewhere, you were doing extra work.
I was.
And I was there in my executive role and wrestling and all those things. Did we interact much?
I don't know, man. There's a really specific conversation.
Yes, it is. Well, I need to clarify something on this specific conversation, because you brought something up to me and then I thought, am I misremembering this? It was Arby's?
Okay. This pops me every time because you would always say rallies.
But it was Arby's.
But it was always Arby's. And for some reason, it would always make me mad that you would say Arby's, or say rallies when it was Arby's. But
because you wouldn't be eating rallies.
No.
All right, so the story goes, fair enough. And listen, that's understandable. Arby's acceptable, though.
Honestly, I don't even think I've ever had rallies.
Well, rallies is, for those who don't know, is also like checkers. It's, who knows about rallies in here? Nash? No? Well, I'm the only one? It's a South thing, huh? Well, all right. Well, we were in the South, kind of. But anyways, so you were working there. You were doing some extra work, and it was COVID bubble, kind of. COVID bubble.
It's like the end of the COVID
end
bubble.
of it. There's a lot of us in the hotel, and I had a workplace proximity associate, Aaron Solo. He often talked about you very fondly and very like sincerely. He's she's so pretty and she's really smart, and then this whole thing. And finally, he didn't talk a lot, if you remember. He's very not.
He's like a mute.
Not Mr. Personality, right? Yeah. I often the last time I saw him, I reintroduced myself to him because that's how limited our conversations have become over the years. But I think we're kind of friends, anyways. He had said so much that finally we all just were like, well, you should talk to her. This is a basic common. You learn this in high school. You learned this before. You should say something to her. You should say hello. You should ask her if she wants to hang out. You should do anything other than talk to us about it. And we were all sitting right adjacent to the elevators, Marriott, Jacksonville, Florida. And it's important because the way I remember the story, with the correct food being Arby's, but you walked in and you had a bit of a social club there. I felt there was a group that was always together. It was a good crew. And you guys always seemed to be in good spirits, which was nice for me because my time there was up and down. And you walked in and you had a bag of Arby's. And he literally nudged me and he goes, I'm going to go say hi to her. I'm going to do it. And I thought, great, do it. Here he goes. Now we're watching and we're not roasting him. We're not giving him a hard time. We are sincerely looking, hope this goes well. Like no one is making fun of him, which is normally what guys I feel like would do to each other. And you walk past, so he missed that first opportunity. And then it's even weirder now because he trails you to the elevator and you have a group, so it's not looking good. And you turn and you smiled at him. You were very nice. And
I like to think I'm a nice person.
Yes. And then he just looked at you and he said, Arby's, huh? And you went, and I feel like I could hear you say it because we were far away at this point. And then I just heard, yeah. And then the elevator door shut in my story and you went away. And then he came back to us as if, why would you even walk back to us? Walk to your car, drive away, leave this city. Don't ever that's all that talk. So like a month of buildup, all that for that moment. Arby's, huh? Really, but that he shot his shot, I suppose, and that was it. And nice guy.
Very nice.
Right?
Very nice.
Nice guy. Did you have any interaction after that? Or was it just that story that bonded you? Just because I think I brought it up to both of you at one point.
You did. You'd bring it up every time you saw me.
I do, yeah. Yes.
Still
It was a significant moment.
It's pretty funny.
I needed it at the time.
It was good.
Yes, okay.
But no, I don't think there was ever any interaction past.
So you feel I probably, now that we're doing this podcast together, you're on SmackDown, you're cruising, we should get a new story.
I think we should find a new story.
I think you're right. We should get a new story, but I really was excited. I don't think I've ever seen any male or woman drop the ball in that. He never even had the ball. Like I've never seen anything like it. God bless Aaron Solo. What a disaster. Well, yeah. So our new story, SmackDown.
Yeah.
Ultimately, the group, however you look at it, I feel like something I learned from Cena a long time ago was the why. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this promo? Why? It also can kind of equate to the goals in terms of what you want to do. Mm-hmm. What's the goal for Fatal Influence? What's the goal for you this first year, if you're a goal type person?
Yeah. So I think for us, it's just taking over everything, running everything.
Okay.
I mean, when we were in NXT, we ran NXT for almost 2 years. So I think as a group, we just want to run everything.
Run it all.
Run shit.
Yeah.
That's our goal.
Take
over everything.
3 hours.
Dominate everything. Yeah.
Can I tell you something from my perspective as someone on SmackDown?
I suppose.
Secretly, I would love that. Because, there's a lot of segments. And you have those days when you get there and they're like, all right, so seg 1 arrival, seg 1 promo, seg 16 is going to be the match, but then there's all these other ones. Again, time management. Here's Tommy, here's Kasama, here's the new guy, Zane from the writing crew. Like, you got to do this warm up, and it's sponsored by Goo Goo Gaga. We got to, just something that's like, it's a contractual deal, and I didn't know. And what do I wear? Am I in gear yet? Oh, no, it's 5 segments for your match. It's just a lot of stress. So, yeah, run it.
Yeah,
go run
that's
it.
a goal.
I think that's a great goal is running it. The cowboy boots, the belt buckle. Do you feel authentically that you are a cowgirl?
At heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Modern or always grew up that way?
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
Mostly modern, but I grew up in a really small town.
Yeah.
Like, my driveway was a half mile back into the woods. You could not see anything around you. You could not hear anything around you. Behind the woods was cornfields on cornfields. I grew up riding horses.
So you're automatically cowgirl, cowboy. You're
Absolutely.
in. Riding horses does it.
Absolutely.
There's a wrestler, I'm not going to name names because he's gigantic. He's retired and he wears a hat. And I remember when I was wrestling him, I kind of thought, are you? And he technically, yes, because he worked with cattle. So that's all you need. Riding horses, cattle, some sort of thing, agriculture, I guess, based or equestrian based, something. But okay, so grew up riding horses.
Yeah, my horse, I leased a horse. His name was Edwin for a really long time. And then my horse that I owned, his name was Oliver.
Yeah?
He was an ex-race horse. I did a lot of English riding and competitions.
What is English riding?
So there's 2 different styles of riding. There's English. I mean, there's more than this, but there's English and there's Western. Western is going to be more my modern day.
Yeah.
And English is a little bit more prim and proper.
Okay.
So Western's all the barrel racing, bull riding, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then English is going to be like your show jumping, dressage, cross country.
Dressage. Dressage is when we got our horses kind of bucking back and forth, right? Like
they're doing
a
a dance.
They're
dancing.
You've seen the famous Snoop Dogg going over the dressage clip?
Yes.
Yeah, that's like, because he's crip walking the one horse. Yeah. Okay, so you were on that side of the English riding?
Yes, more so. I did both, but mostly English.
How long did you do this?
For probably like 5 years.
Yeah. Any horses now?
No, unfortunately not. That's a goal of mine.
Yeah.
I definitely, in the future, I want to have a farm.
Yeah.
I want to have horses. I want to have goats. I want to have chickens. I want to have land. I want all the things. So that's definitely something I want to get back to because I miss it a ton. I miss it so much.
Yeah. If you had a new horse, I mean, this is an on-the-spot question. Obviously, your horse is going to probably inspire something differently, but this future goal horse of yours, what would you name it? Well, here's my whole thing as I ask you this question. I'm playing this game, Ghost of Tsushima, on PlayStation. I played it like 60,000 times. Nothing pisses me off more than you can't name your horse. You have to pick from the names. And the names all suck. And my horse is named Nobu, and he's cool, and I respect Nobu. But it's like, come on.
Yeah.
I want to put my own spin on this, right? I want to put my own spin.
All right. Yeah. I don't know, because I feel like when you pick a name, it goes with the personality. It goes with the look of the horse. So like, to just pull something out, I would just making something up.
Your horse knowledge. Do you know all the different breeds of horses? Hold up. So I had to read this thing when I was younger because my dad was so into horses.
Okay.
And all this color, but the different color and like dapple was a word you kept seeing and all, and the only time I ever thought, I'm glad I knew any of this was, again, when I played Red Dead Redemption, of all things. Because it's like, oh, that's a good horse. You want that Arabian. That's a good horse. Like, it's a really strange outlook on it, but okay, you knew these horses. You knew them all. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, all the markings have different names. The markings on the face, the markings on the legs.
Yeah. You're not the only cowgirl in the wrestling space. Mickie James?
Absolutely.
Yeah? Tell me about it.
One of the nicest humans I think I've ever met.
Yeah.
Just always so sweet, always so helpful. Like, she was coming to NXT for a while when she was doing the LFG show.
Yeah.
And every time I saw her, it was just tons of hugs, lots of advice, complimenting everything. Like, she is just sweet as pie.
Yeah.
It's sickening how sweet she is.
I like that can be, some people it's too much, but she was the same way at OVW.
Yeah.
And she was actually just breaking in. This is like post the moment with her and Trish happening
Yeah.
and all that. It's post that, but she was still just young herself
Yeah.
and she was incredibly helpful.
Because I think that's the thing is like, you said it can be too much sometimes, but
Yeah.
I think it's too much when it's not genuine.
It's not sincere.
And for her, she's just a straight up genuine person, no matter what she's doing, where she is.
Yeah. Is there a current locker room leader in the, I mean, you're coming in a group of 3.
Yes.
Going to be a little heat on you naturally, which is a good thing, as Michael Hayes told me many years ago. Too much heat is not good, though, apparently. But yes, you've got each other. Is there someone in our current locker room or on SmackDown that you at least look to or model anything after or like what they've presented? You named a bunch of people off the top, all people that you're going to mix up and be in the ring with already are.
Yes.
Is there someone who leads that gang? I've seen, and I feel like, again, Pam Bailey
Yes.
is incredibly, she seems to have that same thing that Mickey has. It's all about leading to the next generation and what she's doing with her camps and all that. Who you got?
For SmackDown, it's really hard for me to name one person when it comes to these things, because I feel like everybody plays their part in guiding everybody through this, because at the end of the day, like, we all work together.
Yeah.
And we're all a team as much as we're not.
Yeah.
We're all in competition, but we all work together. So I think the locker room has been really great. Everybody's been super nice, super supportive. Obviously they have to watch their backs, but I think collectively it's just incredible. And it's really insane, because I think about when I first got into wrestling, because I was never somebody who watched it growing up. I didn't have friends that watched it. My family didn't watch it. It's something I found when I was in college. I didn't know what the hell I wanted to do with my life. I ended up getting a degree in criminology and business.
Nice.
What I was going to do with that, I don't know. But when I was, lost trying to find what I wanted to do, I found wrestling. And during that time, Black and Gold was really big. So,
man, it was.
You have the Baileys, the Alexas, the Charlottes, like seeing all of those people, and then now being on the same roster as them, it's insane. So it's just incredible, because I never would have thought that when I decided I wanted to wrestle, I really didn't think I was going to make it this far.
Yeah, when you're across from somebody that you felt you were a fan of or watched, where are you at in it all? I know that for me personally, I'm in a lot of rooms where I'm impressed with someone in that room, but I'm also 40. And at that point in my career, I always have to remind myself, and sometimes I literally have to say it under my breath, hey, I'm meant to be here.
Yeah.
I'm meant to be here. You're my favorite wrestler ever. I just had a conversation with Jimmy Hart, all that, but also what can I do for you? And it seems like the energy you guys have brought is very, you're not starstruck by anybody. Again, these are all people you admire, but that's the greatest thing in wrestling is the real, you mentioned we're a team, but it's a competition.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what the word is for it, whether it's collaborative but my biggest competitors at WWE I'm huge fans of theirs.
Absolutely.
But I'm not giving them that. I'm not conceding that to them. Not in these moments, at least. Like what are you doing for me? What am I doing for you? I don't know. It seems like you guys very much are not starstruck by anybody. If that makes sense.
I think yes and no. I think when it's game time, it doesn't matter who's standing in front of me. Like, you're the target.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when you go home, it's like, okay, it's cool.
Cool moment.
Yeah.
Big news, WWE and sports fans, the world's #1 sports fan festival, Fanatics Fest, is making its return to New York City. Fanatics is bringing you closer to the leagues, teams, superstars, and athletes you love across 4 action-packed days in July. Meet your favorite WWE superstars, get your hands on exclusive merch, and interact with the biggest names in sports. Tickets are on sale now, and fans of the podcast can use code CODY10 at checkout for 10% discount. Head to fanaticsfest.com to get your tickets today.
You're talking about watching Black and Gold. Did you have a favorite wrestler finally? And a lot of times I found this with OVW when I went there. Everyone assumed, oh, it's Dusty's kid, so Dusty's his favorite wrestler, or he's already been trained, which I hadn't been trained at all. I was in love with wrestling, but I fell deeper in love with wrestling when I first started doing it myself and figuring these things out. And moments are happening for me, and they told me to do this, and I did it, and it worked, and that felt good, and I can do this, and my favorite wrestlers would change and evolve. Did you have one as you were training and as you were coming up, or through all that extra work? Was there someone, a guiding light for you, or just someone that is your favorite?
I think because I was able to meet her, it was like, I had just started wrestling, just started at the wrestling school, maybe a few months. And it was the Dallas WrestleMania. I think it was 2016, 2017, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
But I met Bailey.
Yeah.
And she came to one of the shows that we were working at. And again, same, just like Mickey, so nice, so genuine. So I think because I had that little bit of time to connect with her, when I got to then watch her again on TV, she was just somebody that always stuck with me. Also, Sasha Banks. Watching them grow.
Amazing.
Yes. Because, I mean, what they did in NXT was huge for women. Just huge. So to be able, because obviously I didn't know much about wrestling before then.
Yeah.
But when you would hear the people talk about it and you would see the crowd and you would see the way they were able to connect, it just blossomed.
Yeah.
And because of them and because of all the women before them, it's led us to be able to do what we're doing now.
Yeah.
So for me, Sasha and Bailey were two really big people that just ignited that fire.
It's a very common, what's your favorite wrestling match of all time? At least at the Nightmare Factory. It's a very common with our female trainees. That's the one. Yep. That's a great one to choose from.
Yep.
Can because that's, as Arn Anderson would say, that's a very high-tech match, which just meant there was athleticism in it. I'm not sure, but he would always say they do the high-tech stuff too. But are you able to watch old wrestling?
Yes.
Yeah? Does it hold up for you?
It's just different.
Yeah.
It's just evolved. But Terry, we'd watch stuff in Terry's class.
This is Terry Taylor?
Yes, Terry Taylor.
Shout out to Terry Taylor.
But he'd pull up old clips and stuff, and it's different, yes, but there's always something that you can take from it.
Yeah.
And I think, sometimes newer people coming in can't necessarily see it because now everything is so fast, especially in NXT. It's go, 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 go.
Yeah.
So much is happening, but there's still so much you can take because the devil's in the details.
Sure.
And a lot of the old stuff has a lot of those details that we might pass over or maybe don't think about going into a match.
Yeah.
And so I think that no matter what kind of style, what era, there's always something you can take from it.
I think you're uniquely positioned to answer this question more than maybe anybody who's come on this podcast.
Oh, no.
No, I do, because I fall into a different category of the type of wrestling I like and the type of wrestler I am, and definitely the type of wrestler I'm becoming. But I hate when the old timers, I don't even know if old timers, OGs, luminaries, Hall of Famers, I don't like when they explain it as if there's only one way to do it, and they're really, and this isn't all that, but they really push the moments and the cinema and that they push the moments, and then it seems like there's almost this punk rock rallying cry against it amongst the really young, where they're not saying, "Hey, screw your moments," but we're just going to do these really awesome moves that you can't do, and they're going to blow the crowd's mind. And I have said, I think it's in the middle.
Yes.
Right? Are you of the same thought that it's
Absolutely.
in the middle? Okay.
Because if you have all of this cool, awesome stuff happening, but you have no emotional moments that somebody can connect to, then it was just a bunch of really cool stuff.
Yeah.
If we're always doing really cool stuff, what makes it different than the last match that went on before you?
The gentleman who trained me, he always used to say, it was like fireworks. He's like, you go see fireworks. It's awesome. But you just go see fireworks once, twice a year maybe, or you're impressed when they come up, but you're not seeking actively fireworks. It's a bonus. And that's how he used to describe overly high spot filled shows, overly dream match filled shows, because after a while the crowd can only do so much. And, and it's almost where your position on that card can be beneficial to you. Whereas when you're in the beautiful spot of being last, but also sometimes the burden of being last, of what is there left? And do I have enough of a connection with them? Which at that moment, that's when you want to have that connection the most, because that's what will get you to the finish line. But yeah, he used to say fireworks. Right now, a lot of discussion in general about your psychology at a young age.
Okay.
In terms of in the ring. Is this something that innately, some people just have it? Other people can learn it, and other people can take forever to learn it. Speaking NXT and coming from under Shawn Michaels and everyone else there, is that something you picked up from Shawn being one of the greatest in the ring ever, and to many, the greatest ever, and my favorite wrestler growing up? Is that something that comes from Shawn Michaels? Is that something that you felt you had in your bones already?
No, I think it definitely comes from my time in NXT and learning under Shawn, because whenever we're having rehearsals, we do them a little bit more thorough than
I noticed
on main roster.
I noticed.
But with that comes the ability for us to learn like the why.
Yeah.
The whys for everything. Because you can tell me to do something all day long, but if you don't tell me the why, it's not going to stick in my brain.
Sure.
And I think that's something Shawn really takes the time to do is especially when there's stories in the matches, why we're doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
And because if you don't know the why, it just is not going to click. So I think that's something that he was really able to help me and the girls kind of grab onto, is the why and the how and the how to show it.
Sure.
So no, Shawn is an unbelievable bottle of knowledge.
Yeah.
So to be able to have learned under him for so long, it has helped propel me in my career tremendously.
Well, there's this famous class years ago from OVW, which is Brock and Cena, Batista, someone else. I feel like Randy. Oh my God, this is like this unbelievable class. I was just thinking the other day, I'm thinking we re-entered one of these amazing classes, because we got Fatal Influence, we got Oba, we got Trick, Ethan is on his way, Crybaby Ricky Saints is doing stuff. You know what I mean? And they're all hitting at once, which is you don't get. I feel like as a wrestling company, you don't get that lucky that often that this all happens at once. We talked about Black and Gold. We talked about Sasha and Bailey in that specific match, Barclays and tearing the house down and being a lot of people's favorite matches. There's setting a table, and then previous to that, you had the Divas generation who was working their tails off, the Natties and the Bellas, and they're trying to create Mickey, they're trying to set, and it's building upon building, and I think unfairly building slower, but it's here now, and it's at this apex that you're coming into. Twofold in terms of how do you feel being part of that now, but also have you noticed that the wrestling audience is very female? Very. I mean, that, and what does that mean to you?
It's really exciting. A little bit intimidating.
Yeah.
Because, the groundwork was laid for it to be all the way up here, and it's up here, and now that's where I'm coming in at.
Yeah.
So a little bit intimidating, but very motivating to keep it going, because without everything that's been done before, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing now. And I want the people coming in after me to be able to continue to do it.
Yeah.
And I think the women all together have just been killing it across the board, across all brands. Like in NXT, the women were main eventing so often. It was incredible. Like I was able to have so many main event matches. I think it was 20, 25. And that was awesome. So it's really cool. And to be able to do it alongside with the people that I watched is even cooler. And again, it's one of those things that's just very surreal. Like if you would have told me when I first started watching wrestling, hey, one day you'll be in the ring with Brie Bella and Paige and Charlotte and Alexa and all these people, I would have said no. And I am.
Yeah.
So it's just really cool. And I'm very grateful to be able to do it because they have so much knowledge that I can learn from.
Yeah.
So to just suck all the knowledge out of everybody and continue to pass it along, like, it's pretty freaking cool.
You mentioned main eventing, and particularly the Royal Rumble this past year. The Royal Rumble this past year, I watched backstage in Saudi, and I was just watching the Rumble go on, and I knew, again, the Royal Rumble is not entirely dependent on you, I guess, unless you're winning the thing or if you're in there the whole time. You've got your block in it. You've got your moment. Some people pretty long, they're basically the spine of the book on it. But I knew it would be very difficult for the men to follow. And I could see as they got to the deeper water of it and they got down to live and they got down to it that this is hitting hard, and that I feel like taking it on the chin and executing on some pretty difficult stuff, which kind of shuts up the old timey type who, they can't pull it off in those settings, and then they could pull it off in those settings. But so really this year was a prime example. Also, anytime Io's been in the ring or on, like, there are cards we have that I'll look and be very thankful for some of the names, and Io's one that I'm always
He is incredible.
Incredible, and it in a way it lightens things. Like, all right, if I blow it, they're gonna be fine. Io's gone out there and put in a shift already. She's killed it, and I noticed, and that's why I asked you about it with a lot of the different meet and greets and signings and just appearances that we're out all of us doing. Very, very large female audience,
yes.
Very large, and I think that number's gone up from years ago when they finally, touted, hey, it's 30% or whatever. And I actually this week did the Disney upfronts and ESPN and everything, and that was a big talking point. It was, we didn't realize how many. Yeah, this is crazy. Maybe this might be a misogynistic question. I might not know it, so call me on it if it is. Do women watching? What do you think they want? Do you think they're looking for women main eventing, women on top of the card at WrestleMania, or do you think I'm curious what the women fans watching?
I mean, I think they would all love to see it.
Yeah,
like, absolutely, but I think that's kind of the beautiful thing is, like, no matter where you put us, we're gonna kill it.
Yeah,
but it would definitely be cool to see us in those spots. Oh,
no, for sure. And I feel with the conversation every year becomes, and somebody said it 2 years ago, the fact that it's a discussion, and it's always a discussion, men and women discussion, what could be it? What could be the one? That's a really great problem to have. And Hunter being really honest with us always about it's the best story. The best story is going to be, and to your point about NXT, you'll see that. Because it was happening down there, and now down there is coming, not to say up, but coming to SmackDown, coming to Raw, coming to the. So you'll see it transfer in real time, which is a really beautiful thing. And again, it's a competition, but it's also a collaborative effort. This is awesome.
Yeah.
You mentioned running it all. Are there any girls on the Raw side that you feel you want to step into the ring with?
I mean, there's so many.
Yeah.
Bailey for one.
Yeah.
Bailey's a big one.
We had Bailey on the pod before. I feel like we got to get Bailey back. Bailey's been up to a lot of stuff, huh? What's Bailey's camp called? It has a unique name. I just say her camp.
I always say
Lodestone,
Lodestone,
right?
Yeah.
Like Coldstone. But Lodestone. Yeah.
Yes.
Do we know why?
I don't actually know.
Yeah,
why.
no, I kind of was counting on you to know why. I just know
I
that
feel like I'm sure she said it, but you should
sure
probably bring her on to explain it.
Deep, insightful reason why. But
sure
that camp is amazing.
But that's like the amazing thing is just like watching all the women help each other and bring each other up.
Yeah.
And share the knowledge and want everybody to succeed and do well. And like, no, it's amazing that she's doing that. It's incredible. Not to mention how busy her schedule is, and she's still making time for all of that.
Talking about that camp, and I feel like you having just been, you've been with WWE for some time, but coming up, is there anyone out there that we don't know about? I mean, there always is, but there anyone you have your eye on that's not signed to WWE yet?
Ooh, that's a hard one.
Yeah.
That's a real hard one. I feel like I've been in my own bubble since coming up here.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to...
You got to get out of the bubble.
I got to get out of the bubble.
But it's good. You know what? It feels good to be in the bubble.
It does feel good to be in the bubble.
But I feel one of the biggest things I found when I was away from here was, Like, you got to get out because other places have bubbles too.
Oh, of course.
I remember wrestling in Japan. Their bubble was, we're the only thing. Nothing else exists.
Yeah.
And I thought, yeah, here. But like, and then I thought, hey, you know what? The best thing would be is just not be in any bubble.
Yeah.
Not be in any bubble. And then again, when you go do all these things you're doing and gonna be doing with all of ESPN, doing our PLEs and all these, Fanatics Fest coming up, and the fact that we're there with the sports elite, they have their own bubbles as well. Ours is the best bubble though.
Are you ready to hold WWE history in the palm of your hand? Topps is bringing you closer to the action than ever before with WWE Topps Now, highlighting the biggest matches and milestones from WWE shows and PLEs throughout the year. Topps Now is enhancing the fan experience by connecting collectors to the superstars and spectacles that ignite their passion. Featuring stunning event-exclusive photography, each card is made for the moment. And for some lucky collectors, that moment could become the pull of a lifetime. Along with serial numbered parallels, some Topps Now releases offer a chance at rare short prints, superstar autographs, and even pieces of the mat, gear, or other items used during the featured match. So, which moment will you collect? With each card only available for a limited time, you won't want to wait to begin your Topps Now journey. Be sure to subscribe to WWE Topps Now mailing list on Topps.com and follow Topps on all social media platforms so you never miss a single moment.
Fallon, do you have a fun fact?
Well, yes.
Okay.
But it's about your wife.
Okay, hit me.
I don't think I've ever told you this, but it was one of the first few times I came to work elsewhere. I was just chatting up with her. I think it was like, I think I was getting ready for my match or something, and we were just talking. And the ice rink that I had my first job at when I was in high school was where she taught ice skating lessons.
That's actually wild.
Isn't that insane?
Yes. What did you do at this ice rink?
I had like 3 different jobs. I was scorekeeper for like our younger youth hockey teams, office staff, and then I did the barista at our coffee shop.
So you're doing everything.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with this criminology and these business degrees? What are we going to do?
I don't know what my plan was. I went through a lot of different things.
Yeah.
My dad was Air Force, spent 35 years in the airline industry after that.
Okay.
And he was just
one airline?
Essentially, yes, they just got bought out. So it was Northwest, and then they got bought out by Delta.
Delta. Your dad, right?
Yes.
He's in the Air Force.
Yes.
My first opportunity to do a major movie, and that's Guile, and Guile is Air Force. And depending on when you are looking, in 1994, is he colonel, is he captain, whatever it may be. But please just let me know when the movie comes out how I did.
Okay.
Yeah, because I had a lot of facts.
All right.
I only had these facts loaded up in case somebody called for knowledge of the military schematics in 1992 or what. I had basically I didn't want to get caught. There's a lot of fun people on this movie. Eric Andre's on this movie, Katow, the director. There's a lot of improv. So I was basically ready, wrestling style. I want one person to try and ask me about, the B4. I want one person. I never needed any of this. It's in there in a way, but yes.
All right. Well, at least you were ready. I flew planes for a while because I was going to be a pilot. That didn't work out either.
What kind of plane were you flying?
A little Cessna.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you feel good
Single
about it?
engine.
Yeah? Were you a good pilot?
I was actually really good.
Yeah?
I was just really scared because the thought of flying a metal object full of people and they're my responsibility.
Yeah.
I mentally could not get past that. So I was like, I'm not going to go through all of this training and do all of this to then back out later. So
do you still have your pilot's license?
No.
But you did have a pilot's license.
I did not. I stopped. Okay, listen. We got to the solo flying.
Yeah.
Terrified.
Yeah.
I was going to be up there by myself. What if something went wrong? You know how many of those little planes crash?
Yes, I do. And
wasn't about to be me.
Here's my question. We take a lot of charters as a group. Worst case scenario, right? Something happens. Pilots both pass out. We don't know. Can you get that plane safely back?
I will sure do my darndest.
I think, who else? Do you know anyone else who flew planes or knew someone who flew planes? It's
No.
you. You're the one in that regard.
Although Jordan Grace just started taking flying lessons. I saw that.
Really?
Yeah, she did.
Trying to catch up, huh?
I guess so.
Trying to catch up
Set
to
a
you.
trend.
if I find that you guys if we have a bunch of female pilots in the locker room, it's going to be a unique.
I don't think there's going to be many.
Yeah, it's you without your license, so unofficial.
Unofficial.
You're unofficial.
An unofficial pilot
in
for
that
single
room.
engine aircrafts.
Single engine, unofficial pilot.
Yes.
Here's where I think this degree is going to help. How much time have you spent with Mr. Heyman? How much time have you talked to Mr. Heyman?
A good chunk.
Yeah. That type of life experience is the type of thing he really relies on and leans on and finds things that you didn't even realize.
Okay.
So he's a special one to have.
Okay.
I don't know if Fatal Influence is in the Heyman girl slot, if you're there or not, but you'll know.
Okay.
But he's a good one to have. But you don't need him. You've got your two homies. You're gonna run it, and we will bring them on the pod to make them feel as they should.
We'll have to regroup in the near future.
Yeah.
Have all three of us come out.
I was still a little bitter because I gave JC my only mask I still had left, and then 2 weeks later, I don't know what she did with it. I think she forgot we even. Oh, it's here. It's right there. Well, we got it back.
So what are you complaining for?
I'm not.
Why are you coming after her?
She's wonderful, and she will.
There you go.
Yes, she's
we
wonderful.
like that answer better.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
And this is. I very much look forward to everything, and thank you for being on SmackDown.
Honored.
Ladies and gentlemen, what do you want to talk about? Fallon Henley. Oh.